I wear the shirt that says F Biden. I say F Joe Biden. I have respect to our president.
It's important to have respect for the office of the president.
Exactly.
And at the same time, wear a shirt that says Biden.
I mean, for me, yes.
Do you understand the inherent contradiction in that?
Yes, I do. I definitely do.
When we drove by, I saw you screaming up at the second floor there at John King from CNN and go himself.
See what you're saying now? I mean, what I did there, that was not the president. That was me, my personal opinion towards John King and fake news CNN.
Yes, so the fake news CNN should go itself.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, yes.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Now, do I want my kids to see me saying that? No, of course not. But I mean, we all have our days.
You did have your kid. I saw your kid in the car.
Correct. I have about 4 of my kids in the car.
Oh, so
yeah, but they don't understand. They're not of age to understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they did see, they just don't understand.
Correct. Yeah.
Unfortunately, our nation's leaders were respectfully divided on how to best remember the day. On the one hand, you had the Democrats condemning the attacks as only they know how.
We're privileged to have a contribution from one of the great creative talents of our time, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
And on the other hand, there were people like Representative Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene who were unapologetic about what happened and were even planning an event of their own.
We're proud of the work that we did on January 6th to make legitimate arguments about election integrity. So we're going to make those arguments today in a press conference at 2:15, and we're actually going to go walk the grounds that patriotic Americans walked from the White House to the Capitol.
A solemn walk in front of the media to reenact the events of January 6th. Plenty of time for me to ask some questions as they patriotically sauntered down. Oh shit, they're just getting into their cars.
Hey, Matt Gaetz, if you're gonna reenact the events of January 6th, who is going to take a shit in the rotunda? And also, who's gonna make the gallows? Isn't this a little bit childish, Matt, or is that what attracts you to this?
Oh well, I'll catch him at one of the other sedition reenactments. Of course, there were some who witnessed the events firsthand who have a different attitude towards the rioters.
When it comes to insurrections, f them. I don't give a f.
Can I quote you on that?
Yeah.
Representative Ruben Gallego was inside with fellow congressmen of both parties, just yards away from the violence.
Look, I was scared for the country. I was scared for my colleagues. I was pissed off. The thing I remember the most is seeing the fear in the eyes of some very young staffers.
I was here that day. It was chaotic. I got called an asshole just over there.
Was it by a member of Congress or?
The guy had a pitchfork. Do you know the pitchfork guy? Is he a member of Congress or is he?
He might be. Probably from the Freedom Caucus.
Yeah, the guy I was talking to with the pitchfork. If he's not in Congress, he's definitely running in the midterms.
Probably as a front runner, yeah.
Later, outside the halls of power, Democrats gathered for a vigil, hoping the country would never have to go through a horrible day like that again. But down the road, there was another vigil.
We're outside of jail right now, going to vigil number 2.
Where they chose to look on the bright side of the potential treason.
What would you call the events of January 6th?
A wonderful, glorious event. People were excited that day.
January 6th was the greatest day of my entire life.
Okay. You're obviously not a police officer.
There was no insurrection that day. If there was any intention on our part, we would have been actually freaking armed.
If there was intention, people would come with
we would have been.
With zip ties or bear spray or a pitchfork.
Belt feds.
What about the people who did come with zip ties, bear spray, and pitchforks?
Well, those weren't arms. Those were just minimal defensive measures.
Who is the candlelight vigil for?
All of the patriots.
All of the 140 patriots, the police officers who were injured that day.
Yeah.
So it's for the police officers.
No, it's not for that. Well, this is for the patriots that are in prison.
The people arrested for injuring the police officers that day.
It was some people standing up to say, stop the steal.
We're here at the site of where the January 6th protesters are being detained. This is a vigil for them. Their rights have been taken away.
So criminal justice is obviously a big issue for you.
I'm interested in protecting everyone's rights.
Are you going to Rikers Island to protest the 15 people who died last year?
I am not.
Even a year later, selective victimization was still trending hot. At the end of the day, it might have felt that nothing has really changed, that we were locked in an endless loop, talking about the same things with the same people. I felt like that, apparently for a good reason.
I saw you in Hershey. That's right. How have you been?
Oh, hanging in there, man. How you been?
I've witnessed a near downfall of democracy.
It's been a busy year or two.
Yeah, it has.
It's been a little hectic.